Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here, and welcome back to my 31 Days of October review series. And today I'm going to be reviewing The Collector from 2009.
My family's in here. You can save them.
Collector stars Josh Stewart, Michael Burke, Andrea Roth, Madeline Zima, and it's directed by Marcus Dunstan. The plot of The Collector is that it follows the story of a handyman and ex-con by the name of Arkin, who is portrayed by Josh Stewart, who aims to repay a debt to his ex-wife by robbing his new employer's country home. Unfortunately for Arkin, a far worse enemy has already laid claim to the property and the family. As the seconds tick down to midnight, Arkin becomes a reluctant hero trapped by a masked collector in a maze of lethal invention, while also trying to rescue the very family he came to rob. What are the positives with The Collector? Honestly, for me, there's a lot more positives than I thought there was going to be. And for one, I really like the character of Arkin, actually. He's a really good protagonist. Well, he doesn't start off as a protagonist, because he was initially there to rob their home and that, but he ends up becoming a protagonist once the Collector shows up. And he's really good in this, and the actor Josh Stewart is also really good as that character. And I really liked what they did with the character of Arkin in this movie. In fact, most of the actors are really good too, actually. And I just really like the idea of the story of basically, somebody who was meant to rob somebody's home ends up eventually having to rescue the family from somebody who's far worse. And that person being the Collector, which, honestly, the Collector, a damn intimidating villain, actually. He's a damn intimidating horror villain. Unlike unlike a killer like Jigsaw, there's really no sympathizing with the Collector at all. You don't even see his face. He just wears this mask, and it's very intimidating, actually. And he is fucking brutal. Seriously, he will fuck you up like there is no tomorrow. Literally fuck you up. I can't necessarily, I don't know how to exactly describe it, but I was like, damn. And this is one of the first horror films in a while where I'm like, I don't root for the killer. I actually root for the character. I actually root for Arkin and the family he's trying to protect. I root for them. I want to see all of them get out of this situation alive. And that's really good from this movie, actually. It's something I was not expecting, because I was hearing this is mainly torture porn and that. This is one of the films that came out during the torture porn craze. And to some extent it is torture porn, but it's not the main focus of the story. And knowing that, unlike Saw, I would say the Collector's death traps he made throughout the house actually is more plausible than the death traps you've seen in the Saw movies, especially the later entries in the franchise. Also, I do like some of the cinematography, although I do have issues with some of the cinematography, which we'll get into my negatives. And honestly, the pacing for this one is really good too, actually. I did dug the pacing. And also, I I did like the ending. I really dug the ending. I honestly, because I know there's a sequel titled The Collection that came out in 2012, and I'm really wanting to see where they go with this. If I get my hands on The Collection, I guess just be expecting me to do a review of The Collection as well at some point. What are my negatives with this movie? Honestly, for me, like I said, some of the cinematography is good, like lighting and that. Other times, I think it's too oversaturated and all these bright colors and that. I think there's too much of that. They should have toned it down, maybe desaturated a bit. I mean, this like color grading that for when they're in the house and it's night, that's good. A lot of times there's like too much of color. Like sometimes there's shots where it's like really bright green and that, and it's like a bit too much. Maybe if they like toned down the saturation of that shot, maybe it would have been better. And just other shots like that. Also, I did have a problem with the opening title sequence, and I think they got it inspired from the opening title sequence of Seven, which I also reviewed that movie. So you can check out my movie review playlist. But I preferred what they did with the opening title sequence for Seven than this, because at least that one was like, I don't know, like it was, I don't know, there was just something like very sloppy about the opening title sequence with this, and something it's like, it was so fast paced I couldn't even really see like who all was involved in this movie. And it's almost to a point, then why do you even bother having opening credits then if you're just not going to take the time to show who was involved with this movie? Also, the music I didn't really care for, honestly. Especially like that, like, I don't know what the hell this kind of music is. I really don't know. But I didn't like it. Also, for me, while I think the gore isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, I feel like they could tone down the gore at least a little bit. Just a tad bit, maybe. But, to each his own. I really dug this movie. I do want to see where it goes. You know, I do want to see where it goes. I'm actually interested in watching The Collection. So, I do want to see where it goes, what happens. And, yeah, I really dug this movie. So, I'm going to give The Collector a 4 out of 5 stars. It's a really good movie. I just like a lot of things about this movie. I do have issues with it that prevented from me liking it a lot more. But this was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. So anyway, that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching. And see you next time.